There comes a time on the twin flame journey when the road seems to close in on itself. You may have walked through so many ups and downs, felt deep love, experienced separation, embraced growth, and yet still you find yourself standing in silence, wondering if all of this was for nothing. This moment often feels like a dead end. The energy between you and your twin may seem frozen, communication may be blocked, or perhaps it feels as though the connection has completely slipped away. In those moments, the mind fills with questions. Was it ever real? Have I made it all up? Is there even a way forward? This feeling of being stuck, of coming to what seems like the end of the road, is one of the most painful yet transformational stages of the twin flame path. It is the point where surrender is demanded, where illusions must be shed, and where your soul is invited to see beyond the surface. What seems like a dead end is never truly the end. It is a turning point, an invitation to shift from chasing outcomes into discovering the deeper truth of why this connection entered your life. In this video, we are going to talk about what it really means when the twin flame journey feels like a dead end. We will look into why these moments happen, what they are asking of you, and how you can move through them without losing yourself. We will walk step by step through the lessons hidden in the silence, the power of surrender, the transformation of self, and the ways in which this stage ultimately serves both you and your twin. By the end, you will see that this apparent ending is, in fact, a doorway into greater alignment, peace, and faith. When people speak of a dead end on the twin flame path, what they are really describing is the collapse of control. You may feel as though every effort you've made has failed. You've tried reaching out, you've tried letting go, you've worked on yourself, and still, the connection feels stuck. The relationship may appear broken beyond repair, and the silence between you may feel unbearable. This sense of finality does not mean that the connection has ended. The twin flame bond is not something that can be erased or dissolved through human will. It is an energetic tether rooted in the soul, and because of that, it can never truly disappear. What feels like a dead end is the moment when the universe redirects your focus from the external relationship to the internal transformation it was always meant to trigger. The dead end arrives when attachment reaches its peak. It comes when you have pushed, hoped, and expected so much from your twin that the imbalance becomes unbearable. The connection is designed to strip away illusions, and one of the strongest illusions is the belief that you can force or control how the journey unfolds. When all your strategies collapse, you are left with yourself, with no distractions and no way to bypass the deeper work. This stage is not punishment. It is purification. It teaches you to separate love from attachment, longing from dependence, and faith from control. When the outer connection seems blocked, the inner connection with your own soul is being called to the forefront. That is the heart of the dead end stage, a redirection of your gaze from outward seeking to inward becoming. To move through this stage, the first step is acceptance. Not resignation, but acceptance of where things are right now. Accept that your twin may be silent. Accept that the union may not be unfolding in the way you imagined. Accept that your control is limited. In that acceptance, a great deal of energy is released. What once was spent chasing is now available for healing, growth, and peace. One of the hardest lessons in the twin flame journey is surrender. Surrender is not about giving up on your twin or closing your heart. It is about letting go of the need to control how, when, or if union happens. The dead end stage forces this surrender. You may feel powerless, and in truth, that is because your power has always been misplaced when it is directed toward controlling another person. Your true power lies in your own healing, your own energy, and your own choices. Surrender means trusting that the connection has a purpose greater than what your mind can see. It means opening yourself to the flow of divine timing. Often, we carry so many expectations about what twin flame union should look like. Constant communication, physical closeness, reassurance from our twin, that we forget the journey is first and foremost about spiritual growth. When those expectations are stripped away, it is painful, but it clears the space for you to learn unconditional love. Unconditional love is not about tolerating poor treatment or waiting endlessly in pain. It is about holding love in your heart without tying it to outcomes. It is the ability to love while standing strong in your own worth, while building a life that nourishes you. This form of love does not suffocate or cling. It breathes, expands, and radiates. When you surrender, you shift from needing your twin to validate your worth into knowing that you are already whole. This shift is magnetic. The more you embody your wholeness, the more your twin feels the pull to rise into their own. But surrender is not a strategy to get them back. It is a genuine letting go into trust. The dead end stage is where surrender begins. It asks you to release control, to stop fighting against what is, and to trust that the love between you and your twin is beyond the reach of temporary appearances. This surrender is not passive. It is an active choice to redirect your energy into growth, healing, and alignment. In doing so, you align yourself with the deeper purpose of the journey. When the twin flame journey consumes your heart, it is easy to lose yourself. The love is so intense, the bond so magnetic, that your focus can become almost entirely about the other person. The dead end stage disrupts this pattern by forcing you to turn inward. This is the time to rediscover who you are outside of the connection. What brings you joy, apart from your twin? What passions have you neglected? What dreams are waiting for you to bring them alive? When the outer relationship feels blocked, the universe is asking you to nourish your inner life. The journey is not meant to strip you of your individuality. It is meant to strengthen it. A true twin flame union is not two halves becoming whole, but two whole beings coming together. To reach that wholeness, you must reclaim yourself. Begin by reconnecting with the simple joys of life. Create a daily rhythm that centers you. Spend time in nature, express yourself through creativity, or dedicate yourself to learning something new. These small acts are not distractions from the journey. They are essential parts of it. Every step you take to strengthen your relationship with yourself prepares you for a healthier, more balanced connection with your twin. This stage is also a powerful time for healing. Old wounds, insecurities, and patterns of attachment often rise to the surface when you feel abandoned or rejected by your twin. Instead of running from that pain, allow yourself to face it. Journal, meditate, or seek support if needed. The pain is a messenger, pointing you to the parts of yourself that are asking for love. Rediscovering yourself is not about closing your heart to your twin. It is about opening your heart to yourself. It is about realizing that your soul has its own path, its own gifts, and its own purpose beyond this relationship. The stronger you stand in your own essence, the more naturally the connection with your twin evolves. One of the most difficult parts of the dead end stage is the feeling of separation. Your twin may be absent physically, emotionally, or even energetically. The silence can feel unbearable, as though a part of your soul has been cut away. But the truth is that separation is always an illusion. You and your twin are bound at the level of the soul. No distance, silence, or circumstance can break that bond. The feeling of separation arises because the physical reality is not reflecting the unity that you feel in your heart. Yet even in the silence, the connection is alive. Energy continues to flow between you. Lessons continue to unfold, and healing continues to take place on both sides. When you feel abandoned, it is easy to believe that the love has ended. But often, the silence is not rejection, it is reflection. Your twin may be working through their own inner battles, healing wounds that you cannot see, or learning lessons that require distance. Just as you are being called to rediscover yourself, so too are they. This is where faith becomes essential. Faith is not blind hope. It is the knowing that the bond you share is eternal. It is trusting that even in silence, growth is happening. Instead of focusing on the absence, shift your attention to the presence of love within you. Every time you feel longing for your twin, turn it into an opportunity to expand your own heart. The illusion of separation serves a purpose. It pushes you to cultivate inner union. As you align your mind, body, and spirit, you begin to experience a deeper connection to your own soul. And because your soul is one with your twins, that inner union naturally radiates outward. The dead end stage often arises because the timing is not yet aligned. Union is not just about love, it is about readiness. Both you and your twin must reach a level of maturity, healing, and balance before true union can take place. If either of you is not ready, the universe will create blocks to protect the connection. Divine timing is one of the most frustrating aspects of the journey because it asks you to trust without knowing when. It asks you to release impatience and to live fully in the present, even when your heart longs for the future. But divine timing is not punishment, it is alignment. It ensures that when union happens, it happens in a way that is lasting and balanced. During this stage, it is important to focus less on when and more on who you are becoming. Every challenge you face is preparing you for the love you desire. The more you resist timing, the more painful the journey feels. But when you trust the process, you begin to see the beauty in the waiting. Divine timing also means that your twin's journey is just as important as your own. They may need space to heal, to grow, or to release karmic cycles. Trusting divine timing means allowing them that space without trying to rush or control their process. The dead end is not a dead end at all. It is a pause, a recalibration, a moment when the universe aligns everything perfectly. Trusting this timing frees you from the weight of impatience and allows you to live more fully in the present. The pain of the dead end stage can feel overwhelming. The silence, the longing, the uncertainty, it can all weigh heavily on your heart. Yet within that pain lies immense power. The twin flame journey is designed to transform you, and it is often through the most difficult stages that the greatest growth occurs. Pain shows you where you are still holding on, where you are still attached, where you are still defining your worth through another. It calls you to rise into self-love, into independence, into strength. When you embrace the pain instead of running from it, you begin to transform it into power. One way to do this is through creative expression. Write, paint, sing, or dance your feelings. Let them flow out of you in ways that liberate rather than suppress. Another way is through service, using what you've learned on this journey to uplift others. Pain, when transmuted, becomes wisdom, compassion, and strength. Remember that your twin feels this journey too, even if they do not express it. The work you do to transform your pain into power ripples through the connection. As you rise, you give them permission to rise as well. Transforming pain into power does not mean you stop feeling. It means you use those feelings as fuel for growth rather than letting them consume you. It means you trust that every moment of suffering is a stepping stone to greater strength, love, and wisdom. One of the greatest revelations of the dead end stage is the realization that the twin flame journey is not only about union. Union is beautiful, yes, but the journey is about much more than two souls coming together in the physical. It is about awakening, transformation, and the evolution of love itself. When you reach what feels like a dead end, you are being shown that the journey does not stop with union. It extends into every area of your life. The growth you experience through this connection ripples into your relationships, your purpose, and your entire path as a soul. This realization brings freedom. It allows you to live fully in the present, to cherish the journey as it unfolds, rather than waiting for a destination. It helps you see that every moment, whether in union or separation, is sacred. Embracing the journey beyond union means finding joy in your own growth, peace in your own heart, and purpose in your own life. It means living as the fullest expression of your soul, knowing that whether your twin stands beside you or not, you are never incomplete. When you shift your focus from chasing union to embodying love, the journey transforms. It becomes less about reaching an end and more about living in alignment with the deepest truth of your being. That is when you discover that what once felt like a dead end is actually a doorway into a life of greater peace, fulfillment, and love. When the twin flame journey feels like a dead end, it is natural to feel lost, hopeless, and overwhelmed. Yet this stage is not the end. It is a sacred pause, a turning point, a call to surrender into deeper truth. It teaches you to release control, to rediscover yourself, to see beyond the illusion of separation, and to trust divine timing. It is in these moments of stillness that the greatest transformation occurs. The love you share with your twin is not diminished by silence or distance. It is refined, deepened, and purified. And as you embrace the lessons of this stage, you prepare yourself not only for the possibility of union, but for a life lived in greater alignment with your soul. Remember, the dead end is not a wall, it is a doorway. Step through it with faith, and you will discover that the journey has only just begun.